Good afternoon, guys. This is Mary back with another tip and tidbit. So, as we're moving into the end of the year and we'll be going into another tax season, let's talk about tax buckets. And I know tax is fun stuff, right? But anyway, I wanted to teach you there's three tax buckets that you should know about. There's tax me now, tax me later, and tax me never. And I'm going to give you a tidbit. Tax me now, you make a paycheck with a W-2 where they take your taxes out. Sam's already seen taxes before you. And then there's some other like savings buckets where you get taxed up front instead of in arrears. So those are tax me now buckets. Then you have tax me later. That's like your 401ks, your annuities, your IRAs. You put a little bit in. Sometimes there might be an employer match to grow, which is great. Take advantage of it. And then when you need to utilize your money, you're not being taxed on just the little bit where you started. You're being taxed all the way from the beginning to where it's grown to. So a lot of people will save, save, save. Then they're like, oh, I've got 100,000 or whatever it is in the account when they retire. But do you really have 100,000? Because once you pull that money out, you have to pay the taxes on the money and the growth of the money. And so once you start paying taxes on that, you might easily lose, 10 to 15%, depending on what your tax bracket is. So that's the tax me later bucket. The tax me never bucket is the one that I want to highlight. This is one that we've been teaching for a long time. It's been around for over 174 years, guys. It's been around longer than Wells Fargo Bank. So this is something that the elite have kept to themselves, but you can use it to self-bank. So we've heard of infinite banking, we've heard of self-banking, we've heard of being able to use funds that we're investing to reinvest. This is a great opportunity for that. It is something that addresses if you live too long, if you die too soon, or if life happens. You put the money into the account, it grows on steroids, and some of our accounts are averaging about 6.25%. I personally have one that's been averaging almost 6% even through the pandemic. So while my 401k and my IRAs lost money, it's called an IUL, Index Universal Life, has been actually growing and making money. And as cash is accumulating in this account and life comes up and I want to make another purchase, like a down payment on a home, I don't have to worry about where the funds are coming from. I can borrow it from myself and pay myself back. That's where the infinite banking comes in. Or, there's something else that comes up that I want to invest in. These are my funds. I can borrow them from myself at any time and pay myself back and keep it going. And my money stays like it's still in the account, compounding and growing while I'm using it. So it's a win-win for me. But then I have living benefits. So if life happens and I can't take care of myself, I become critically, chronically, or terminally ill, I can actually use it while I'm alive to make sure I'm getting the care that I need, because sometimes healthcare doesn't cover everything. It can be used to pay my bills and keep the lights on while I'm getting better so that I'm not all stressed out. On top of that, if that untimely thing happens and I'm no longer here to help my family, this policy will kick in and take care of my family because it has a death benefit too. So it addresses all of life's needs. It's like 401k on steroids with no tax penalties whatsoever. You're never too young to use your money, and there's not a tax ramification for it. So guys, if you want to learn more, like, subscribe, message me, reach out to me. I'll put all my contact details in the chat, and see you next time.